All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am, like you, an enthusiast of data science, so I'm going to share a little bit my interest in data science and how it has shifted over the years. So I grew up in Mexico, and I did my college actuarial sciences in Mexico. And I got excited about probability and statistics, basically because it was doing math and applying math to basically any problem. And if today you're thinking about climate change, maybe tomorrow you're thinking about biology, you had the tools to do that. So the first type of projects that I worked on were on crime prevention and social development programs. The idea was to develop surveys and sampling strategies to evaluate these social programs. And these social programs were focused on very rural areas with difficult access. There was no data available, no previous studies. And all the emphasis was about data. All the emphasis was about getting data, and very little about modeling and causal inference. Then I graduated and worked in a marketing research company, and all the emphasis was on computation. So here, data was very easy to get to. It was mainly data from stores, from supermarkets, and the idea was to estimate trends of consumer habits and sales. So I used SAS, SQL, and it was all about computation. And then I went to grad school, and it was all about modeling. So in grad school, I focused on evolutionary models and population genetics and phylogenetics, and it was all about the modeling side of it and how we could estimate parameters of relevance for population genetics. And my tools were R, Python, graphical models, Bayesian models. So there are two patterns in this, and I think that I share those with many of you according to the talks today. And one is that there has been a shift in the data science focus. At first, it was all about data. Then I moved to all about computation, then all about modeling. And the second one is that I have moved across different fields, and I intend to continue doing that. My main focus will still be population genetics, evolutionary biology, but I really hope to get and interact with data science and get involved in other projects, which at the end of the day, the mathematics is very similar, and the methods are very similar. So Stanford Data Science is the perfect hub for interdisciplinary research. We have great people from many different departments working on many different projects. But there are some similarities that we can learn from each other and work together. So in terms of moving forward, I think that it's going to be a combination of all of these four aspects that I talked before. We have every day more data and more challenging data. For example, in the context of genomics, we used to have data at the level of species, then at the level of individuals from populations. Now we have the levels of cells. And we not only have DNA, but we also have RNA, gene expression, multi-omics data, and they are all working on different scales. As you can imagine, species, hybridizations, and speciation works at the scales of hundreds of thousands of years, whereas population dynamics, where we migrated from Africa, happens hundreds of thousands of years. Sorry, the previous one was billions of years. Hundreds of thousands of years. And then cells are at the level of weeks and months for developmental processes. So we have all different resolutions of data and different scales of the modeling aspect. So data generation is going to be important, and it is important for me, and I think important for many. Computation is still a challenge. If we want to exploit this data, we need to pay attention to computation. The models that we have are not enough for the data that we're collecting. We need to be creative and start thinking about new ways of doing model discovery and the back and forth data, computation, and modeling. All right, so I hope you all share the same aspects of data science interest. So there are ways of getting involved in data science. There are applications open right now for the data science scholars. They are due June 10. They provide 2 years of funding. There are many other events. In particular, I want to highlight there is a Women in Data Science in Health. That's May 29 at the bottom of the list. There are other very interesting events. Bay Area Tech Economic Seminar, Causality, Networking Social. There is the course annual symposium. There is also the inaugural Berkeley-Stanford workshop on vertical data science. There is an amazing talk coming from Aviv Regev on design for inference, from random experiments to lab in the loop, and many other events. All right, that's it. So I invite you now to go to the poster session that is going to be here outside, and I hope you get to talk to each other and learn more about data science. Thank you.